All right, going to be doing some movement analysis on some of our targets here. We're going to do defensive backs here. This is these are clips from the NFL, from the combine. This is the 40-yard dash. So I think I'll stick with this D-backs 40-yard dash first, and then see if I can get wide receivers and then obviously offensive linemen, and then kind of go from there. But anyway, gonna focus on targets that I've mentioned. First one we got here is Mickey Blackman. I have him from the 5, 6, 7 round video. Again, he was somebody that I had early on in the year. Early on in the season, before the season started at college season, to be a top-rated corner. And then as the season went on, I didn't hear too much from him. Still didn't think he was dropping on the board. And then when I first saw the initial grades and where he was projected to go, late round, potentially UDFA, I was like, I don't think so. So I think his 40 here, which was good, is going to move him back in. Maybe he gets the 4th or 5th round, which is good because I think that, a lot of these guys that were really late, that there was a lot of physical concerns, they're starting to get bumped up. So I don't think they're overtaking anybody, really. I don't think there's anybody falling from their positions, maybe, but maybe these guys are better than originally perceived. Anyway, let's get through it. Please deal with the fact that I have to probably shift through the video and the timestamps and all that stuff, so just bear with me there. So here's Mickey. First of all, actually, we're right in the perfect spot. Probably wants to get his hips a little bit higher. Yeah, needs to get his hips higher because his chest, he doesn't want to open up his scaps as much as he is right here. His stance is a little, so really what needs to happen is probably back foot needs to be about 4 or 5 inches closer. That brings his hips up a little bit higher, flattens out his back, and then he's able to pinch his shoulder blades a little bit more. Why is that important? It's because it's going to set his spine in here. So when he drives his hip forward, he's not going to open up, and he's not going to get hip rotation and foot splay. It's just, again, this, like I said in the previous video, I don't think all these guys get top. They might come from top schools, but they're probably not every single guy got at USC that's going to the draft or going to the combine probably got premier coaching here. It's not terrible, though, but this guy's quicker. His number could have been even better, I think. Gets right up. Yeah, overstriding completely. Now, I'm actually going to go back on this. And sorry if I have to do this. Play speed. We can do this right away. You can see it in this position. This guy's way faster physically than his technically is. See how his heel is here and his toes up? Watch. He is heel striking almost until right there. So his last 2 or 3 steps, this guy is a lot quicker than that. 447, physically, this guy gets into a real strength and conditioning program and gets some people to teach him to be fast. He's going to kill. Sign him up. All right, here comes, perfect, Brian Branch. Let's go back to starting position. I know it's not really killer, but it just goes to show you that some of these guys might be faster versus guys who are really well rounded and had great coaching that might have performed well in this combine. Mickey did not, despite actually running fast. Now I have the playback speed going too slow, but we're going to need it. Terrible. It might be okay for him, but terrible. Rounded out back. Hips way too low. Back foot way too far back. Left is good. Arm position's decent. His shoulders are over his hands, which means he's got his weight forward. Now, when you're in this position, another thing I mentioned with Mickey is you got to watch what this hand does. Does this hand slide back? Is it active? Does he rip that arm back and does he drive forward? Watch, his right hand, it's killer. Does he pull it up or does he pull? Yep, he just pulls it up. He lost something there. So this is another situation where Brian Branch, you're going to go on the 40, but the dude is probably quicker than this 40 tells you. Because, these guys don't do this in the game. Right? So this is where you want to look at a flying. Here's Julius Brents. He has slower than expected. And his starting position is horrendous. Now, this is what I was saying about, I shouldn't say horrendous. It's not good. He's not in a good starting position. But anthropometrically, tell me how he's going to do it. He would have to have his freaking front foot almost over the line, his back foot on the line for him to get into a solid position here. Does he pull his arm up? No, he's struggling here. You want to see this hand fly back, like up and back, right? Because that means he's pawing at the ground and actually helping him dive and pull forward, and then he needs to drive his hips down towards the ground and then drive this back foot forward to catch. So it's basically one movement. This goes back, foot goes forward, hips go down. And what it does is down really means out, because as that happens, your hips are gonna go down. That means you're also lengthening out body wise. Nope. Stands up too much. Didn't stay in his first phase too long. Gets his knees up. His foot contact's not bad. Unfortunately, we're watching Arquan in this smaller video here. Stands right up. Terrible. Good knee drive, good foot contact though. His feet, see, the big thing about him is his foot's landing right under center mass there, so he's not overstriding like how Miki did. Key Trail, we can watch Key Trail, why not? Looks good. All right, moving on to Miki Gardner. Another guy who ran pretty well, but he's a good example of terrible backside mechanics, but his foot contact is great. It's right under center of mass. So what happens, what I mean by that is when your center of mass is... of course we have to have a fucking goddamn YouTube. All right, Christian Gonzalez. Starting position. Let's see if they fix it. Nope. Overstretched. He's going to probably either lean too far forward and bunched up, or he's going to stand right up. Good hand position for that. Does he pull his arm? Yep. No. See, he did a little bit better there. Yep. No, he's good. Starting position I'm not a fan of, but Christian Gonzalez is good study. Nice work. Anthony Johnson, big dude. I gotta have to watch more of his videos. I watched a little bit, but I'm gonna have to look it up. This guy, his body weight's too far forward. He's overstriding, but now everybody's going to say, well, it doesn't really matter. It's never in the football. And the whole point is that you're trying to extract the idea. Here's Jalen. Hold on. Before Jalen, let's go back to Jalen. I'm sorry. The whole idea here is that when I talk about this is that how refined are they? Are you? If you have a refined form and you're still slow, then guess what? That's not good. But if you're unrefined form and it doesn't look great and you're still ripping out great numbers, unless it's like something that's increasing your risk of injury, and it's just something that can be cleaned up, that tells me that if you're still running fast and it's not perfect form, you're obviously faster. We'll take, for example, Miki, like the first guy we saw. That was like, jeez, like, dude, someone take him back to 8th grade track, you know? All right, so here's Jalen. Bigger corner, potential safety. I love this guy in the 4th. Might be moving up after this one, though. Stood right up. Good explosion, though. All right, at least he's still maintaining that forward body angle. Overstriding. Oh, yeah, terrible backside. I'm going to say. So Jalen, faster than that, for sure. Some parts of that was worse than Miki, except he didn't overstride as bad as Miki, but his body posture was horrendous. Getting there. Nick Jones, man. Yeah. Not great, not terrible. Oh, yeah. Kelly. I haven't watched. Yeah, I remember looking at him. He's like a third or fourth rounder. Good backside mechanics. Okay, he's pretty good. He knows how to run. Not very explosive, though. I had Daryl pretty high up initially. Good. Oh, yeah. He knows how to run. Now, let's go back to his actual running form, which, you know, who knows if that's really something you're going to see. Or was I? Daryl. All right, let's go back to Daryl. So there's points where he's driving his knees up, and you can see where his... Not bad. Not bad. His foot contact's good. Needs to pull his feet back down under him a little bit more. He's staying too high. Or, I shouldn't say. He's just not being aggressive with his foot contact. He's letting it float too much. Cam Mitchell. Now, he was somebody that impressed me. Well, he ran a solid time, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. Good. Does he come up out of it? Because he gets his hips forward. Not as much as he probably should have. It is only a 40. Usually you don't get completely upright until about 60 or 70 yards in, so. Riley. Not horrendous. Good form-ish. A lot of backside mechanics. What I mean by that is, see how far his foot gets behind him? They're not. Most of these guys are not tucking their heel in. Good here, good here. Picking his knees up, gets himself upright, but then his feet just get way too... Like, that's okay, but now what he needs to do is, moment his foot hits, it's okay to get the extension, but he needs to pull his heel right under his butt and drive his knee forward, and I don't see it happening. It's restricted because his torso's further forward. So when your torso's angled forward, you can't get your knee high enough, right? Because your hip angle is going to be splayed this or angled this way rather than flat. Here comes Joey Porter. Gets himself upright. Actually, not bad running for him. That's probably why he ran better than expected. Now, you want to watch how to do this? This is it. This is why I love Keely Ringo. This is correct. This is right. Okay? Hips higher than shoulders. That way, when he rolls his weight forward and he pops his hip forward, it's like this is like asking somebody, like, if you're gonna jump, do you want to jump from like with only 2 inches of knee and hip bend, or do you want to get a nice big long swing and jump up like in a jump ball in basketball, right? Do you want to basically stand stiff-legged and just hop for it, or do you want to be in ready position and get down and use your arms and legs to drive up? This is the position we're talking about in terms of starting these 3-point stance starts. All right, sprint starts. Nice and tight, hips high, back is pretty flat. Shoulder blades look to be pinched. I would tell with his arm being back like that he's at least pinching it. Good position. Obviously, we're not head on, so we can't tell if this stance is split correctly. But when I watched him run initially, I didn't notice how... Yeah, that's good. Good. Awesome. Staying low, but getting his hips under him. And then look how his knee drive, and then he hits and pulls. Hits and pulls. That's how you run a 40. Sign him up. If he's there in like the second or third and the Patriots don't take him, I'm gonna lose it. Darius Rush, same thing. Very good. You see how fast they're pulling their feet in? Right? Now, when they get there, it's not just like always the down and pull and extend. If you can get your feet back into a position that obviously is reloading so you can slam it back down again. Cam Smith. Oh. That was ugly. Ugh. He's better than that. But something tells me that's actually how he runs. So. Let's go, Terrell. Stands right up. This guy's going to blast a good time. Oh, because you know what? He's pulling his feet in. He's getting his knee drive and he's hitting the ground. He's slamming. Yeah, it's not bad. That guy is. See, that's speed that will make it onto the field. I have to go back and see where his 10 was because I don't think his 10 was that good. Tyreek, one of my favorites. Yep, he's getting his knee up and forward, toes in line. He's knee and toe coming forward. Again, look at the backside mechanics. He's keeping it tight. All right, he's not letting that foot drag behind him and it has to come all the way forward. Because once your foot hits the ground, it's up in the air. It's not producing power. So all you can do is just quickly get back to the front again. Right? This should be quick. Not bad start. Could have been a little more explosive. This is now, I'll say this. This is where you have strength and conditioning coaches that know what they're doing and teaching these guys how to be explosive. Now, let's go. Sorry, Tyreek. Do you want to be quick with your feet or do you want to be explosive with your hips? Now, if you're going to be tackling somebody or you're going to be jumping, are you just going to always allow, is it all going to be knee extension or are you going to use your hips? Now, I'm sure Tre'Davious does a really great job when he jumps because guy can hit a 40-inch vert, but this is an absolute atrocious start because he doesn't lose. Like, you should see, as somebody starts, you should see these hips drive forward and down, not kind of like stay right at the same level. This is telling me he's just, basically the start's useless. He's just starting in a low position, and it's actually, he'd probably be better off almost standing up. Because watch, his hips barely even get extended forward. They just kind of stay right at that same height. See how they just kind of stay low there? You got to drive out. You need to be almost jumping on your stance there. A lot of backside mechanics. Tre'Davious is faster than that. This guy can, I thought I had him at a 4.3. He can run a 4.3 with the right, easily with the right training. It wouldn't be wasteful training. It wouldn't be just for the combine. It'd be teaching him how to run correctly. Not bad start. Good hip extension. Decent body angle, still accelerating, overstriding completely right there, but then cleans it back up. Not bad. I like Corey now. I liked him before, like him a lot more now. Oh, the speedster. Top, what was he, 3 or 4 now? Top 3 or 4 all time? Let's see how he does it. Yep. Not bad. Good knee drive. So that's why he's fast. See these knee drives? Dude. He's got more in the tank. See, he was still accelerating. He didn't even hit top end. Now, most athletes don't really hit top end speed until they're 60, but he has more in the tank. That guy's a legit sprinter. So in this case, it's okay that he's still leaning forward because he's still accelerating. Good pop. But he's getting that knee drive while staying low, which is important. He gets his knees up. He's still got more to go. For his position, he's got more to go. 4.23. Jay Ward, where are you at? Well, not terrible. Lack of hip drive, but yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Doesn't seem like he needs to work on, well, I'm gonna hate this to say a specific muscle, but he probably needs to work on calf strength. Looks like his heel was dropping on when his foot hit. What round are we on here? Wow, we still got time to go. I'm gonna start moving forward here. Jacorian Bennett. Archon Bush. Yeah, let's look at Archon. Archon Bush. Right, here's Archon. Stands right up. Archon's a lot faster than that. He can get under 4-5 with some at least semi-decent. Like, they just pull hard. You just need to. These guys need to pull their knees up. Clean it up, guys. I'm not a fast dude, but geez, sometimes I like watching these guys. It's like the power production's through the roof, but it's leaking out everywhere. There's so much energy just being wasted. Okay. Keitrill knows how to run. He knows how to run. I'm gonna have to move him closer to his potential target. No, obviously it doesn't make you a great football. Oh no, here's the king of. This is textbook not how to run. And yet he still pulls off a 4.35. The backside mechanics is horrendous. No knee drive whatsoever. He can thank for that massive shin length and being like 160 pounds. Oh my lord. That was painful. Painful. Not bad. Yep. And he hit something. Oh, he hit the FAT. So there's the laser, and that's what's bouncing off of. He must hit that. The receiver end. That's okay. Shit happens. Yeah, that's what he had. Oh, his hand, too. That was going to be a good one. Christian run. Oh, he did run better. Let's watch Christian do this, and then we'll end it probably. Christian had it. I think Christian had a good number, and he had good start position. Probably a little too opened up. Not enough weight going forward. Good arm positions. Good foot contact. Decent backside mechanics. Not bad. Could probably get better knee drive. But anybody else that we want to watch here? Cam Mitchell, Nick Jones, Clark Phillips again, Joey Porter Sr. He's got it. He just needs to get that knee drive a little bit higher. It's not bad. I know I'm blasting through these. I'm just trying to find. Yeah. He can work on a start, but something tells me this guy could actually run in real life. Yeah. On the field, that guy's not slow. Not super quick, but he's not slow. Not going to be a liability. Jordan Battle. Okay, let's see how Jordan does. Okay. That was not horrendous. Knee driving and tighten it up? Yeah. Probably needs to work on some calf work to get some springiness out of the feet. Oh yeah, Jair had a terrible. Looks like we're gonna have an overstriding situation. No. I'm gonna change the settings back. Yikes. Brendan Hill, my favorites. Didn't get his hips forward. He's using his legs to extend. Oh, that's good, though. Yep. Yeah, that's how you run. Sign him up. Sign him up. Okay. This guy needs to relax. You gotta relax, bro. You can't have your shoulders up on top of your head. Antonio Johnson. Good. Good. Smooth. Not a good start, but 4.52, we'll take it. He can get in the 4.4s if he really worked on it. Brandon Joseph, not fast. He's not fast. But I think this is actually a good one. Yeah, he's faster than his 40. Yeah. Not a good start. And Jartavius is definitely faster than his 40. Overstride, too much backside mechanics. Merriweather got himself ready. Jamie Robinson, not bad. A little bit hunched over. So this is the freak that showed up. Oh yeah, dude, that guy is... Ooh. He's ready to play. Yeah, Chris is just not fast. I don't think he's physical freak as the rest of these other guys. Just doesn't have the spring. His feet just doesn't pop off the ground. He has to pull it forward. Jason Taylor, terrible mechanics. Rashad's not bad. Oh yeah, not bad. Come on. Jordan Battle stands up too much, but top end mechanics looks pretty good. Alright, let's see what G-Ear does again. Nope, he's all hunched over. His power production, he's just absolutely bleeding out power. I don't think he's like ultra physically gifted, but he's bleeding out power. He's pulling too hard. Sydney's too strong. Needs to relax when he runs. Yep. That's not bad for him. That looked pretty good. Trading, dude. Pick up your knees. Pick up your knees, dude. His first two steps for him. Now I'll say this. I'm not overly worried. So if they want to, oh my gosh, his start's beautiful. Oh, sign him up. Go get him. But I was going to say about Trey Dean is, safeties don't have to worry about that. So, you gotta be fast, but I don't think you have to worry about that starting position being so horrendous. Yep, he just needs knee drive. Low foot, overreaching, trying to pull himself rather than hit himself forward. He's like trying to walk fast, like you gotta run, you gotta hit the ground. See, he's hitting the ground. And these guys, that's decent. Still reaching forward though. He's got more in the tank. Brandon. Okay. Brandon does his homework, I can tell. I like that. It's not fast, but it doesn't Yeah, he just doesn't have that gastroc activation that this guy does. This guy's feet just pop off the ground. You can tell because his backside mechanics gets worse as he runs. When he should be easier to clean it up, it gets worse because he's producing more power. He's steadily losing control. Merriweather, I thought I was big on him early in the season, before the season started, and it just never popped for me, but his combine's not bad. Jamie Robinson, I don't know, he's like one of the top 5 safeties, I think. Oh my gosh, dude, Daniel Scott, dude. It doesn't look bad. This guy's just pure horsepower. Chris Smith. Yeah. It just doesn't have the gastroc, the lower extremity. So basically what I'm seeing there is that it's basically from his knee down, it's just not getting the spring. He's not built in the hips to pull his leg through hard enough. Man, Rashad, man, these guys are disappointing. I just want to take a second and go over a few points that I partially discussed while doing the commentary, but I wasn't really able to fully hash out. First, these 40-yard dash times are important regardless of how much people tend to discount them and their importance in determining how good a player can be at the NFL level. Yes, just because you're fast doesn't mean you're going to be good, and yes, just because you're kind of slow doesn't mean you can't play at the NFL level. However, these 40 times in tape show us what kind of athlete we are dealing with physically, also with their skill set, coaching background, and also in terms of their behavior. What do I mean? Let's just talk about Mickey Blackman there. Again, first guy in the tape, so if you want to go back, he ran a decent time, but he looked like he never went through a college strength and conditioning program at all. Now, the current USC strength and conditioning coach, Benny Wiley, he's good. But he's been at the job there for only one season, so we can't really blame him for Mickey's 40 and how Mickey was looking extremely raw. When I see Mickey run and then I see his times, I think maybe this guy has a lot more left in the tank. Maybe we can coach him up. Maybe he's a lot faster than a 4.4. On the other hand, I'm thinking maybe this guy has been coached up. Maybe he has been corrected and it's not sticking. Maybe he has a terrible performance anxiety. Why didn't he do his homework here? Why is he, he's a grown man. He can do his own homework on how to run a little bit quicker and do his own work here. This is where coaches have questions prepared in the interview to discern how he prepares or how he was coached. Then they can determine the coaching staff can amend this quickly, or is this indicative of the player's behavior? I still like Miki as a target, and I think he will be a great player in the late rounds. It's just, where is he as an athlete? Now let's talk about Keely Ringo. He was prepared and fast. He did his homework, and he has the physical talents to be a burner. Yes, that is about as fast as he's going to be as an athlete. So he can be near his ceiling. There might be some left, but we have to, by looking at that's optimum technique and physical performance coming together. But on the other hand, I'm considering that I don't have to put an immense amount of effort to teaching Kilo how to be an athlete, or do I have to worry about this translating to the field? There's going to be less time and effort in the performance facility and more time in the tape room and on the field. I still see Keely as an elite prospect, and I am really leaning to having him towards a safety/corner combo after that. The guy just looks like a physical freak. The other type of situation I want to talk about is Emmanuel Forbes. He ran a very fast 40, right? And he's in the 4.3s, but I have red flags and alarms going off left and right. Now, I'm not saying that this is because I think he's not a great athlete and can't play at the NFL level. Forbes is a gifted athlete and can obviously be a potential star in the NFL. And on the other hand, that running form will have strength and conditioning coaches as well as sports med staff worrying that they're going to be blamed for this guy spending a chunk of his career with hamstring issues and chronic injuries. Some of Emmanuel's issues is how he is built, and some of it is his lack of corrective exercises and education and proper technique. So really none of it's really on Forbes' plate. This was how he's built, so he can't deal with anything about that. And obviously no one's really, well, I can't say that, but it's so bad I think no one's ever tried to correct this. They just said, wow, that guy's fast and quick. He'll be all right, I know he's been always probably so physically talented that it's never been an issue with the person dealing with him right then and there. Yes, he has run one of the fastest times in the 40, but my mind goes, where do we start here? He's fast and can play ball. He's a prime candidate, but for non-contact injuries, for or potentially of years of missing a handful of games. Thankfully, Emmanuel has fairly clean record of self-imposed injuries. Can't find too much. It's always about getting hit and being carted off that way, or hand injuries. So there's no history of chronic injuries or catastrophics. And his body type tends to be that pliable type where there's enough to prevent that catastrophic injury. So he might get a roll or a sprain, but maybe not that blown MCL or trifecta. Still, the way his structure is and his anthropometrics and the movement tells me he will have physical vulnerabilities that will be exploited by mismatches. So I see him as a elite ball hawk, but maybe that is it. Maybe I don't want to take him in the first or second round because of it. It could be a big gamble if that's all he is. I mean, if he's really good ball hawk, great. That's something to rely upon. But he might be owned by certain types of athletes and matchups, like I said. And he could be injury prone. Well, issues every year, just kind of a hamstring or an ankle or something, a knee, back. The point is, not all 40 times are equal, and you have to see why they run fast. And is it because he runs fast because he's 180 pounds and he has very springy legs? Yeah, that's probably it. Regardless, I still like Emmanuel, but I wouldn't pick him until the second, possibly third. Seriously. Another situation to note is Julius Brents. He's kind of the opposite of Emmanuel, where I see his times in tape and think, please, 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 all the other teams just need to see that time and make it as a deal breaker. And we can just see the top level vertical, broad, and some of his agility times. Julius had an ugly start. He has long limbs, and he creates brutal backside mechanics. Luckily, Brents won't need to start in a 3-point. So his 40 is not indicative of his physical condition. His other performance numbers still point to elite athlete, so he's gifted and he did his homework. The downside is that he will need to work on those running mechanics, but I won't have to worry about his power grades. He can jump. He's explosive. Those things do count. I'm sure coaches will see him as a solid athlete, and that 40 will have a little weight on the sheets in the end. I love Brents. I think Patriots would have to wait to the 6th unless they are banking on picking him in the 4th if they still need a D-back. My final point here is to make about the Daniel Scott, the Brandon Hill, the Corey Trice. All these guys put up solid numbers, and they're late round prospects who I have as like a utility player or just really great special teams guys. Their numbers support that potential and might have moved them up on some teams' boards. Not only did they perform well on the stopwatch, but they looked like they prepared for the combine and were ready to perform. All these being pluses. Overall, I wasn't really surprised with the results here, minus Scott. He really impressed in the tests and should be moved up into my 5, 6, 7 round targets. I am also doing a little bit of a victory lap with Keely Ringo, Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., and Brandon Hill. They solidified their positions coming out of the combine. I will attempt to do some additional videos on other combine tests for the D-backs as well as the other position groups.